Okay, now we're near the Nunes Day Camp, and if you go all the way to the beginning of this playlist, you'll see a video about the Nunes Day Camp, and up there in the hills up there, that's where the War Eagle mine is. And the trip that we took that predated that first outing with this Jeep, right after I bought it, I took the kids out here, and we found this place. Well, I'll just let you read the sign. Apparently they don't want you going over there. Side of an old mill. That's exactly what that is. It's like it may have seen better days though. Yeah, see that old cement building up there in the middle of the frame? That's the site of the Nunes Day Camp, and that's where all the miners that served the mines that were up in those hills over there, and there's several, that's where they stayed. Let's come over here. It's a windy one today, holy cow. That's ore chute. Here. See it clearly now. That road that goes up there, that looks like a talc mine, and it goes up through there. I don't know, I didn't bring my binoculars with me. There might be a road that goes up into that valley. It looks like there might be some workings up inside there. But either way, it looks like there's somebody going up there right now. But you can see it clearly now, but I was over on that side and you couldn't see the road. I was all the way around on the other side of that hill over yonder. Missed it by this much. A lot of times you can kind of date, or at least narrow it down to a couple of decades. You can date a site based on the can and bottle dumps. See a lot of green glass. You know, I don't know if you knew this or not, but this glass that you find in some of these dumps can vary in color from blue to green to purple, and the color of the glass is dependent on the mineralization that's in the silica. So there's a lot of purple glass in this area of the country, but the glass wasn't purple when it was thrown on the ground. It was clear glass, but it has a lot of manganese in it, and as the sun bakes that glass over the decades, it turns purple, and you know, it's highly sought after. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of glass left out here in the desert, you know, that dates back a century that's whole. But you can, like I say, you can date some of these sites by looking at the trash that the miners left behind. And I'm looking at some of these tin cans here. Now if you look at this tin can, it's not like a modern tin can like this kind, you know, it has a lip. This can has the top and the bottom were soldered on with lead solder, and then the product, this is probably condensed milk can, and on the top here there's a hole right there in the center, and that's been soldered shut. So the product was filled through the hole, and then it was soldered shut, and then it was, you know, boiled or whatever, however they can stuff, you know, like your grandma used to do. But here's a condensed milk can. I'm willing to bet there's a lot of this stuff out in the desert. Of course, there's a Spam can, or half of one. A lot of canned goods, and you see how they open them. Probably, this is probably post-war stuff, because that was opened with probably a military surplus can opener. So, I'm no archaeologist, but just based on what I've seen here. Oh, look at this here. That's probably either tea or Ovaltine can. Like back in the day, Nestle Quick, if you're a child of the 70s, had the cans there with a little metal stopper. You spoon it out. Site of Tecopa. Now it's about 3 or 4 miles that way. Used to be a house here. See this, the plaster, some roofing material, piece of glass, some more roofing material. And there's more. Unfortunately, that's all that's left. A lot of times when places like this were vacated, because materials were so hard to get out in this area of the country, everything had to be brought in by rail. They'd pull up everything that could be salvaged and they'd move it. There's a home site here too. Roofing material, tar paper, plaster. There's the porch. Oh, the toilet. It's a commode. Shower, shitter. Somebody missing a tie rod. It's a good one too. Look at this linoleum. Poke around some more. And finally, here's a home site with a root cellar. See the stucco. You know, looking at the amount of vegetation, there's a pretty good sized tree over there. I would say that this was probably the town's water supply. There's a spring in here, and you know, our miners aren't And if you're a miner, I'm not, you know, times have changed. I'm not talking about you, but you know, miners back in the day, weren't exactly a bright lot. And I say that with utmost affection for miners and what they did for a living. But, well, here's a bottle dump. Cool. But if this was their water supply, which likely is, it's downstream from the leach basin that has all the heavy metals. What do they mean by heavy metals? Well, a lot of mercury was used in the mining, so probably some of that. Lead, one of the things they were mining here. This is a relatively new bottle dump, but let's look at it. Let's see if any of these bottles have dates on them. 78. 78. This won't have. There's some jelly from 40 years ago. You want to try it? Ew. That's a nice bottle though. Nice container. What is it? It's a ball jar. Oh, it's compromised. It's leaking. That was made by Ball. This is a Budweiser bottle. These are all old Budweiser bottles. 78. Pretty cool. There's another one of those. Gillette Track 2. Circa 1978. Another home site. They left the oven here. Side over here, and there's one down there. Somebody's domicile, or what's left of it. Looks like a shower pan there. There's another house there. Looks like another one there. Some shingles. Well, they had power and they had gas. What's this? Oh, dangerous, high explosive. That's neat. That's a part of a powder box. Well, I'll do a little bit of digging and find out when this part of Tecopa was abandoned. But the road that I'm parked on right now continues on a mile or so. It ends at a more modern mining operation that was worked from the 50s and through the 60s, probably terminating in sometime in the 70s. It's a talc mine. It's more of an open pit operation. I've never spent any time out there exploring, but I'm running out of time right now. It's nearly 4 o'clock. Yeah, 3:40. But if you're interested, I'll come back out here and we go check out that talc mine and those talc mines up there as well. If you want to see that, comment in the comment section. Let me know. I'm going to close this one out. I'm going to go back home. I got my little explore fix today. That was kind of interesting, find that little homestead out there in the middle of a wash. I'll see if I can find any information on that too. So if you like this video, smash that like button and share it with your vast social media network. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead under this window and click that subscribe button and the little bell icon that's right next to it so you can be notified of future uploads. I really didn't highlight any products, but you can check the description for Amazon links, and if you're going to buy something on Amazon, I would consider it a personal favor if you went through one of those links. That way the channel can earn a little bit of a commission, pay for the fuel to go out on these little excursions. And Daddy needs a new electric fan. I make pennies on that stuff, but every penny counts. And until next time, you have fun, stay safe, shoot straight, keep the powder dry, and have a splendid day. Oh, the sun feels so good on my face. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Well, if you're still watching, you're about to get a bonus clip. I almost forgot to stop at this spot. I was before I went down to explore the old abandoned town site, I was up here by the door chute. I came over to the edge up there and I saw this. And that reminded me of Shoshone and Dublin Gulch. This is definitely man-made. Let's see what it is. Yep. That's what it is, a little dugout. Oh, look at all the mud daubers. Some little miner probably lived in here. Oh, I hear a coyote. Where is he? Anyway, I had to come look at it. That's pretty common out here. The miner didn't have enough money to build a house. They just dug a hole. There may have been one there, but the whole roof collapsed. If you wanna learn more about dwellings like this, I'll post a link to Dublin Gulch up here. Thanks for watching.